Okay, so you asked a question when you got here. What was the question again? Okay.
It was whose voice? We're starting off with Star Wars. Whose voice do you like better? The Clone Wars clone. I don't know any of the names, so just like deal, okay? The Clone Wars clone voice, or from the movies, like the guy who plays Boba Fett, the guy like the like I can't.
Yeah, the clone from the movies.
More like this, like that.
It's the clone from the movies, like the second movie and the third movie, like of the prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
Or the guy from the Clone Wars TV show. Honestly, the guy from the Clone Wars movie, I guess, from the movie, had like a cool voice and all, and like that was kind of the voice I was expecting when I watched the TV show. But the thing is, like, I've listened to the TV show so many times, and the voice from the TV show is the voice that I recognize as Rex, and Rex is like an individual.
Same,
you know,
yeah.
He's one guy. He's not a clone. He's his own person. So like when I hear that voice, I just associate the voice with him, and that's why I kind of like have to like his voice more.
Yeah, because I've been going back and rewatching a lot of just the story arcs, and I've been trying to imagine the voices swapped. Like, I've been trying, when Rex is talking, I've been trying almost to imagine, I wish I knew the guy's name. I've been trying to imagine his voice
we
from
can call
the
it like
movies.
Jango Fett from the movie.
Jango Fett, yeah, we'll say that. Jango Fett's voice. No. I've been trying to imagine Rex talking, but his voice, and it just feels weird. You know?
Yeah,
like, especially...
Yeah. No, and the other way around. Like, I feel like the Clone Wars movie, like, their voices were more, like it seemed more like a battle voice, like a battle-hardened soldier. Yeah. And then, like, Jango Fett's voice from the movie sounds more like a politician's voice.
Dude, I think, okay, the way, the reason why I think they changed, maybe... the voices is because, well, I mean, a lot of the voices were totally different than the movies, obviously, but like the voice in Clone Wars, it's more like heroic. Like when they're like, I don't know, when they're in battle, you almost think of the clones as, I don't know, and then the other voice is almost darker. Yeah. In a way. Like when I think, maybe that's because I relate it to the movies, and obviously like Revenge of the Sith was such a dark movie. Mm-hmm. And like when I think of like, you know, like they're like, no one could have survived that fall, like shit like that. I just think he has a more darker, like the Jango Fett voice is way more darker than the more like heroic Clone Wars voice. And
you gotta love like in the movie or the TV show, like whenever they would whenever like a clone would die, he'd always be like, ah!
yeah.
Or what about in the first, it was like in the movie, I think in the first Clone Wars movie, either that or like the first Clone Wars episode, that one clone who runs up to one of the droids and just fucking sucks him. And then he holds his hand. Like, ah! He holds his hand and then he just gets shot and dies.
Dude, that was just the worst, man.
That shit was so funny. I saw something on YouTube where like someone was like voting, like he did a poll to vote for like the top 5 coolest clones, and then in the end he felt like he had to make a shout out because 5 people specifically like typed in like the one clone who punched the droid in the face and then broke all his fingers in his hand.
Yeah, dude, I think to answer it, I would say I like the Clone Wars voice better because, like, when I want to think of the clones, because in the end, the clones were completely betrayed, and I want to think of the clones, like, as, like, heroes in a way, because, like, I don't know, like, I don't know.
Well, no, I get it. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you associate that voice with that. But one of the things that like, I guess just like moving on to the next, like we were talking about that. I love that we were talking about earlier with freaking Palpatine coming back. That's the stupidest thing. It's the stupidest thing, and I think it's so funny.
Well, I think it was just put in there.
It was. Just
to come up with something.
Because those movies,
like, very quickly, because they had to fix so much shit.
They completely redid it.
Yeah, they had to fix so much shit with The Last Jedi, and then they're like, what do you come up with? Palpatine returns. Oh, yeah,
Dude, that sounds good.
How do we introduce it? Poe, you just say,
well, turns out.
Yeah, dude, that was bad, man. And then, yeah.
I love how you can see like the lack of like good writing, like just how these people talk, like just like what they say, like it's just like,
yeah,
like I feel like they know it, that they're just not doing it right.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there were definitely a few parts in The Rise of Skywalker that I was pretty blown away from, like, especially when Alex's dog right now is
get the hell over here.
He's hanging out. He's
God, okay.
He's messing up our mics.
You gotta get the fuck out of here.
Oh my god.
Alright, we'll put
This is a disaster, guys. This is a disaster.
Put him in reverse.
Reverse, sorry.
Now he's getting attention. Now he's getting attention. He wants more.
Alright, back
Stop
to
just itches his leg. Master of destruction.
What was I saying? There were a few parts in The Rise of Skywalker that I was pretty blown away from. Like, the two parts that I'm thinking of was one when, like, everyone's gonna know these, I think would agree. The parts where, like, all the Jedis were talking, like, they were all coming in and talking to Rey, saying, like,
yeah, they edited in all the voices and stuff.
You heard
Mace Windu.
Yeah, you heard Mace Windu. You heard Anakin. You heard Ahsoka. You heard Obi-Wan. Fucking. You even heard Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you heard him too. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. No, you didn't hear Jesus Christ. What's the guy? The blind guy from Rebels. I almost said Cal Kestis.
Kanan.
Yeah. Now Cal Kestis is from the video game Jedi Fallen Order.
Dude,
it's just a crazy game.
I love in the what was it, the Rebels TV show in the end. Wait, maybe I shouldn't talk about the end of fuck it.
Spoiler.
In the end of the Rebels TV show, there was like they had like all those wolves attack and like eat a oh wait, did you see it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I didn't even remember if you saw it. Yeah, they had like all those wolves attack and like
I thought that was cool.
That was so sick, because then like what was it, Commander Wolf was there, and like Gregor was like, yo, you got your wolf pack back, and he's like, they fight just like the boys too.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
That was sick.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know what, one thing, God, this is like an entire like just really starting off with Star Wars. One thing I thought was a little weird in Rebels was the fact that they made like all of those clones, like Gregor, Rex, they made them just look like retired dads. That's one thing that I was
Gregor's got a freaking sleeveless on.
Yeah,
it looks like it says some shit on it, like I don't know, like something you'd see on like such like a dad shirt. Like I don't even know what it would say,
it was just bad.
Like I'm with stupid or something.
That's dumb. I think I don't know, because if you look at like Boba Fett now, because he's kind of old, like in The Mandalorian, he's in shape.
He's got like scars and shit.
Yeah, he's badass.
And he just looks like a war torn man.
Yeah.
And then there's Gregor, who looks like
Rex.
a dad on vacation at Disney World.
Yeah, and Rex is like when he's trying to try on this stormtrooper, he's like, oh, I'm not as in shape as I used to be, or like whatever. Like he was having trouble getting it on because he like gained weight.
And like the whole point of them picking Boba or Jango Fett as like the warrior template was because he was supposed to be like out of the entire galaxy, he was supposed to be one of the best matches as like a warrior.
Yeah.
And here's this guy like, oh, I don't fit it anymore. Like,
yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, that was just one thing. I mean, I don't know. I think they did a good job with Rex as a character in Rebels. Like, they maintained him being, like, pretty bad. The one part, dude, when he has PTSD and he's like, Cody! And, like, that was crazy. Like, I think how they put him into the story, for, like, after the Clone Wars, obviously, I think it was cool. I just thought it was kind of quirky that he was, like, gained all that weight and had like a beer belly and shit.
Yeah, he's supposed to be this great warrior, and here he is with a dad bod.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know. That was just one thing, but
it was still great. Like,
yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess he's retired now. Like, he's technically retired. Like, like they decommissioned the clone, so I guess if he wanted to gain some weight, go ahead.
Maybe they deserved it.
That's true.
They worked their asses off.
They were so wronged. They were technically slaves.
Yeah, they were like, fuck this. We're gonna chill back and like eat, chow down on freaking grub and get a big old belly.
Yeah, they left the old diet routine and just ate some new stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, one thing we gotta talk about.
What?
That you actually like stopped me from. We were on the phone earlier, and you stopped me from talking about it and continuing.
What was that? What was that?
The fight.
Okay, I did
Logan
not
Paul
see the
and
fight.
Floyd, you didn't?
I did not see the fight.
But
I listen like I know so much about like Floyd Mayweather and his fighting and stuff. He did not lose to Logan Paul, right?
No, I think he's okay. So I only watched highlights on YouTube.
Yeah.
But so I didn't like pay for it. I like waited till it was done, and then I just went on YouTube. I'm pretty sure he did win, but he didn't, like, no one got knocked out.
Right.
And honestly, in the end, I was kind of like blown away that Logan wasn't a douchebag about it.
That's what I heard.
When he was talking, he was like really like, he was like, oh, it's an honor to be like in the ring with one of if not the best fighters in history. Like
he's definitely. I think that he is probably the best fighter in UFC history. I mean, I don't know a ton about UFC. I do not.
Yeah.
What I hear is from people who do know a ton, and I mean, you hear them talk about Floyd Mayweather. Like, who else do they talk about? Like he's the talk of the town.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, that was cool because usually, Logan's kind of a fucking dickhead, and he's just an arrogant. And same thing with his brother. I think his brother's even worse with it. But I mean, I don't know. So that was kind of cool that Logan was, not an asshole afterwards. Even though he kind of was leading up to the fight. Did you see him like take his hat in the? They were like in each other's faces. They were like talking shit, and then or was that Jay? I don't know. One of them. Fucking, he just like grabbed freaking Floyd Mayweather's hat. He was just like, got your hat. He just like walked away. And then like Mayweather got so pissed. Him and his crew, they got so pissed, and they just like tackled him.
That's like something you see in like third grade. It's like, I got your nose. Like, give it back.
And everyone actually gets really mad about it.
It's not funny anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I watched it with my dad, and my dad used to watch, I think some fighting. He was kind of into Floyd Mayweather, and he said like he's not the same like as he was when he was in his prime.
You don't think he's in his prime anymore?
He's 40-something now.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's an old guy.
Like I don't know exactly. I think my dad.
I still think he's like one of the best fighters. I still believe he is the best fighter. Like. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, again, like I don't know so like a whole lot about fighting. I just know like
don't take take the information from me. Like I don't really.
But it was kind of entertaining, I guess. One thing I saw on Twitter, it was so funny. Someone said this. They were like, "This fight was better than the Logan versus Floyd," and they took the Victorious versus iCarly, and they put it on there. And I retweeted it. I thought it was hilarious. because like no one got knocked out. They thought Logan went out for like a second because he at one point he got hit hard by Floyd and he like stumbled for a sec, but he wasn't knocked out. He got up on his feet like 2 seconds later.
Yeah.
And like I think he was just like my dad said, people who had been in fights with Floyd Mayweather, they described him like being hit by him. They said it felt like getting hit by a sledgehammer.
Yeah. No, he's supposed to be one of the hardest hitters. Like when he went up against Conor McGregor, you know, there were some people who wanted to root for the underdog, Conor McGregor, and he's a great. Conor McGregor's like a great boxer, but like, you know, they have two different
styles.
They have two different styles, and Floyd is just so big, and you know he's got reach, and his hits are such big hits. You know, his punches are so strong, and
have you seen his jab? Compared to that, I watched a video compared to they like took Logan's jab, like videos of them training, and they put it up against Floyd's jab, and it was like Logan's jab just looked so fucking like wimpy, and it was just like yeah. And then dude, literally, when they panned to Floyd's, when he would punch, his arm was just a blur. Like when he would jab, it was crazy because the camera couldn't even pick it up. Yeah. Like it was just like
it's kind of like SpongeBob when he ran to the top of the mountain. Want to see me do it again?
Dude, it was crazy though. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. The fight was cool. Nothing like crazy happened. I didn't think like there wasn't.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Intense moments where like, I don't know. Apparently, dude, like there's footage of like Floyd like putting his hands down and like just like ducking and weaving, you know, like just like not even looking like he's not even trying. Like I don't know. I didn't really see that from him.
They say that with like fights like that, like, you know, an entertaining fight is one where people get hit, but a good fight, like a real good fight for like the fighter himself, is a fight where they play it safe and they you know they do the weaving and they keep themselves up rather than trying to perform a show.
That's true. That's kind of true. Yeah.
In this they're not performing, but they're trying to reach a goal. Yeah. Regardless of the performance.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because you could tell like in the first couple rounds they were being really cautious, both of them. Even though Floyd is such a, you know, a well-known athlete, fucking and a proven athlete, he was still being cautious of Logan because he's like 6'2". I think I don't remember what he weighed in as, but it was way. Obviously, Logan's like a way bigger guy than Floyd. Floyd's kind of
he's short, right?
Yeah, he's short. But he's just powerful.
And like, he's muscle. He's all muscle and technique.
And skill. Yeah, like in technique. That's the thing, dude.
Technique.
Yeah. So, that was... Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was cool to watch, but I didn't think it was the greatest fight ever, you know?
Yeah. Well, and again, like, that's what a lot of people are saying. That makes sense.
Yeah,
you know, like, but that's not the goal that these guys are going for. They don't want to get hurt, you know? So they play it safe and win. Yeah, you're not gonna get like it's kind of like when you watch football and like I remember watching like a Super Bowl a few years ago, and it was the most boring Super Bowl I'd ever watched. Like nothing cool happened.
Dude, I haven't watched a Super Bowl in fucking years.
Well, sometimes a Super Bowl can be fun. Like someone catches the ball at like a crazy distance, or they have like a huge comeback where they were behind by a ton. This one was just like it was like one team was not getting anywhere and the other team was just dominating, and like it was just like boring. It was boring to watch. Like the one team's defense was terrible and the other team's offense was great, and then vice versa. And it was so boring to watch. But like half of those people, you know, one whole team just won a Super Bowl. Do you think they care if it was boring to watch? They won a Super Bowl. Like
that's true.
You know?
That is true. Yeah. Dude, honestly, the past several years, I didn't even know who was playing in the Super Bowl. Like, I had to, the day of the Super Bowl, I was, like, asking people, I was like, who's playing?
Dude, I watched the Super Bowl this year, and I still don't know who played. Like, Tom Brady was in it, and Gronk.
Patriots are pretty.
No, he's not on the Patriots anymore.
My God.
He's not on the Patriots anymore. Yeah. Tom Brady.
Oh no, it's the Buccaneers.
That's
right?
it. Yeah, that's it. The Buccaneers versus who though? Like I still don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that. I know it was the Buccaneers.
The only reason I know that was because of Tom Brady and Gronk.
Yeah. Didn't Gronk? He retired, right? And then he came back.
I don't know if he retired and came back. I just know that they were both like on the Patriots, and then they're both on the Buccaneers, and now they're just buddy.
Yeah.
You know. And there's the Patriots just watching their star players just like playing for another team and winning another Super Bowl. Like I can't believe that Tom Brady would leave the Patriots after being with them for so many years and winning so many Super Bowls as a Patriot, and he left and
then still won.
Yeah, he's like
that is pretty badass.
He's like what's his name? That guy from the Revolutionary War. The old fucker. What was his name? Benedict.
Geez. Benedict Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Benedict Arnold, he didn't win in the end.
Yeah, it's true. He didn't win, but there's a little difference.
Dude, that guy didn't he Bro, he lost everything.
Yeah, and he did it. He I don't know how accurate it is, but I think he did it for his wife. Like his wife was the one who convinced him to go to the British.
Really?
And then
I just thought it was for money.
I think his wife was the one who he wanted money, but his wife was the one who gave the idea of giving up patriotism for money because he wanted money, and she did this. Because
she was maybe the cherry on top that got him to do it.
Well, what it was the British spy team or something, put her in the position of turning him, of bringing him to the British side. So she wasn't into him, and then the British sent her to plant the idea in his head. So then he comes over. And she's never really in love with him in the end, at all. She was only there to convince him to. So he doesn't even have a wife who loves him. In other words.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. So he doesn't have country. He doesn't have honor. He is the exact opposite of honor. And in the end, he has a wife who despises him.
That's awful.
Yeah. And apparently she was pretty good looking too.
Really?
So you got a good looking wife who hates you.
Should we Google him? Google her?
Well, you're only gonna get a painting, so
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how accurate that's gonna be.
Yeah, they didn't have smartphones back then. I forgot about that.
They didn't even have those disposable cameras.
No. Oh my God! He's like, George, get a picture.
George, with my girl.
Hans Washington and disposable camera.
That's how they took the picture of him crossing the Delaware. They had some guy run out there and just... We're gonna have to wait 3 to 5 business days before we get these pictures back. But at least it's a waterproof camera.
Oh my God, dude! A few years ago, or maybe it was I don't know. I went to some what are those things called, dude? When a reenactment of the Delaware.
Yeah. And they do it over the the actual.
Yeah, actual spy. It was kind of surreal to watch, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. My dad's friend actually was in it, and he was all dressed up. I don't think I could ever do that. Dress up as the friggin' historical. I just couldn't do that. No. So that takes some balls. So it was pretty cool to watch, though. Just yeah.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. Getting historical for a sec.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I was 9, I saw one of those with it was the Civil War. There was a little Civil War battle. That I went and I saw with my neighbor and his dad.
I did Gettysburg too.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think it was Gettysburg. I think we went to Gettysburg.
Gettysburg was sick, actually. I remember the whole time I was there, I was looking for bullets because I was super young. And I was like, I'm going to bring home a ton of Civil War bullets. And I didn't find one.
Yeah, well,
I was so upset.
That's it's also you're not allowed to. Like
yeah, it's illegal.
Forget it, dude. I feel like if you like brought a metal detector there, like there'd be like snipers in the bushes, like just getting ready to gun you down.
I'm pretty sure they still find stuff to this day.
Yeah, but there's like what's that thing? Devil's Den. Have you ever seen the pictures, or have you ever been to Devil's Den?
Is that where the snipers?
Devil's Den was like this thing where they had like days. They had this like battle, like small battle, like within Gettysburg, but it's like all these giant rocks that jut out like 20, 30 feet, and there's like a bunch of them, so it's just like a huge rock pile, and there's like guys like in caves and stuff.
I think I know where you're talking. I think I was there. Yeah,
it was supposed to be like the bloodiest spot of the war, and there's supposed to be so much stuff like all over the place there, you know, like bullets and buttons and like pieces of whatever, just like metal stuff that's still left over, but you're like forbidden to like, you know, like leave the trail around there or something. You're not allowed to do that. You can't have a metal detector there because that's a grave.
Yeah, that is kind of damn, that's a crazy way to look at it.
Yeah, that's kind of like with like Titanic and stuff. Like people don't want to go to Titanic anymore. Like, I mean, there's really no reason to go, I guess, but like that's a grave. Like, the bodies aren't really there anymore, but 1,500 people died inside of that. That's a tomb. That is crazy. It's a tomb. Which is weird. Like, think about that. Like, why is it okay to go into, like, King Tut's tomb and then just take his body out and display it in front of people?
That is kind of...
like, why is that okay?
Yeah. Huh.
Like, people actively search for this guy's body. And they're like, oh, it's for academic reasons. Like no, I think
just looking at it. Like, you're not doing anything.
So there it is, man. Like, oh, we learn more about the culture when we take the body out and display it and make a lot of money off of it. Yeah.
I mean, it is pretty crazy to, like, I like going to museums and, like, museums. I think I just said museum.
I don't know. I don't want to talk about
it. I like going to that. I don't know, because it is pretty crazy to like look at things that were like such pivotal moments in history. But like, I don't know, that is kind of a weird thing about, you know.
But like at the other point, like, this is like the hard part in which you debate it. It's like, how would you feel if you were that guy who was hung up in front of a bunch of people? But then like again, how would you feel? Like, you won't feel you're dead. Like, it doesn't, you know, like,
like I don't even want to wake, to be honest, when I die. But I want to be cremated. I like, maybe for that reason. So I don't know.
I just feel like even if like there's no like afterlife or whatever, I'm like, you're not up in heaven, like, what the hell are they doing with my body? like even if that's not a thing, and like you're just dead, like I feel like it's just not respectful to take another human body and just show it to people, like in its rotten form. Like, yo, check this out, and it's like arm comes off or something. Like, that just doesn't seem right to me.
You're gonna have another Scooby-Doo moment on your hands with the mummy. Dude, that was a good episode.
I don't remember that one.
Dude, with the Shaggy's like, I think I found your mummy. He like points to like over there. He's like, ah.
It's like
yeah, dude, that was a good episode. God dang. Yeah, dude, freaking Scooby-Doo, man. All the old ones.
What about the movies? Remember in the movies, like, what was it? He was like, what's your name? And she's like, Mary Jane. He's like, I love that name.
That's my favorite name. That's what he said. Yeah, and then there's also the scene when they're this is the best one, when they're in like a little shack, and there's like, it's like hot box, but it's not. And then they're like all high, but they're not. It's like they can't be because it's Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, but it's like a reference to that. Like, they're just like the creators are having a time of their lives, and the kids are watching it like, hey, this is funny.
Dude, and then there was also like, dude, honestly, that movie, now that I'm thinking about it, that movie didn't even hide it. There was also a scene, because like in that movie, they're like celebrities, and they're well known to like the public. And there's a red carpet for them, and Shaggy he sniffs, he's like, and then he looks over, he's like, oh, and he sees like his whole fan base, and they're all like stoners, because like he was sniffing, because like he smelled weed. Like, that's what it was.
Oh my god, I never made that connection.
They didn't even hide it in that movie. It was so great.
And like that's kind of like fucked up too. Like everyone seemed to have like a clique. Like it was like all the dogs were there to see like Scooby, all the potheads were there to see Shaggy, all the nerds that's like kind of fucked up. Like,
dude, honestly, I love it. Cause
no, I love it. Yeah,
you can go back and enjoy it in a totally different way when you're older. Cause like you said, when you're younger, you don't pick out those things and like, but you're still enjoying the movie.
Of course,
cause like it's Scooby Doo and it's still a good movie, but like,
and you don't know, like it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. And then when you find out later, you can just enjoy the movie again in a different way.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What's another movie that's like? I mean, SpongeBob.
Maybe not a movie, but yeah.
I mean, SpongeBob.
SpongeBob had so many
things like that, and that's one thing that's annoying with so many cartoons now is that they got rid of that because of it's not I guess politically correct.
Do you remember how like I don't even know now. It has to be like maybe 10 years ago, maybe a little less. The TV shows on Nick like just declined. Like you could watch Drake and Josh today and love it. SpongeBob, you can watch it and love it.
Yep.
iCarly, you can watch it and love it. All the TV shows today, none of them have that gravity. None of them have that power. Like, oh yo, did you watch the fucking Thundermans? Like what? Like I don't even know what the Thundermans is.
I don't know what that is.
I just kind of like remember that there was a terrible TV show like called the Thunder. Like I don't even remember what it was about. I think it was superheroes. I don't know, but they just. Like, where do you think that fan base went? Do you think maybe they were doing something right and they stopped doing something right, and now no one likes the shows anymore? Like they had.
Yeah.
And isn't there like, oh yeah, I think iCarly's coming back for one more season.
Well, yeah, when they're older, obviously.
Yeah.
That's because Sam Puckett's not in it, which is a little upsetting.
Yeah.
But apparently, that was a big decision for her because like she was like a child actor and like her family was dirt poor and like that was like one of those things that is like I don't know, apparently like she got treated like really shitty on the show or something.
Really?
I don't know.
I didn't hear the reason
like a
why,
big thing.
but I just knew that there's
like she was on some like podcast and explained it all. But yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be good though. Like I guess I could see it. Spencer. He's funny. He's fucking hilarious.
That guy is funny in anything. He was hilarious in Drake and Josh's Crazy Steve.
Yeah, and, dude. Oh my god. Dude, and the first scene when you see him, when fucking Josh,
the coaster or something, the cup holder.
He's like, oh man, I had a great time at the movie. He's like, oh, the movie was great. The popcorn was great. And he's like, dare I say, jammin'? Like he said something like that. But fucking, he's like, there was just one thing, the coaster in aisle something was a little loose, and then he just flipped shit. Fucking, oh my god, Crazy Steve, he's hilarious. Apparently, though, like, I don't know names at all of actors, but the guy who plays Spencer, apparently he's literally like that in real life.
It's a Jerry Trainer, but that's the best. Yeah. That's the best kind of actor. Is the actor who doesn't need to act.
Dude, that's like
the actor is just himself.
Dude, one show I want you to watch so bad is New Girl, and Schmidt in it. Oh, I'm not gonna give it away anything, but dude, Schmidt is like so fucking funny, and he's just like I don't know if he's my favorite. Either Schmidt or Nick. I don't know. And then, dude, Winston's great too.
Winston, of course.
Dude, dude, the whole show's funny, but Schmidt like really stands out, and like he's the same. I watched interviews again. I don't know his fucking name, but I watched interviews with him, and he said that he was like when he was reading like the script of like when he was like going in to do the auditions. He said that like this is me, like this is literally my character.
Yeah.
Like and he played it so well, and he's been in a few different things after that. So like yeah. And
every time he's been in something, he always plays that same type of person. And
he's actually really. I don't know what movie it was. But
he was in a movie?
He was in some movie, and apparently his character was totally different. Like it was a serious character. And like obviously Schmidt is not serious in the slightest.
Yeah.
But like he's a very well-rounded actor, so that's pretty cool. But
I forget what it was, but I remember he was in iCarly. That was like his like biggest role, I feel like, in the shows at least. Then he was in
Jerry Trainer.
Yeah. Then he was in Drake and Josh as like more of like a side character. But just before Drake and Josh, I'm pretty sure he was in like another TV show where he was like a soldier, and it was like the first time he like made like an appearance like on one of these shows like that was big like that. It was like he was on a show and he was like a National Guard guy or something, and like the power goes out.
Really?
And he plays just like those other characters, and then next thing you know he's like in like the Drake and Josh, and then he played like the exact same type of person in all three.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's slight different. Like, obviously, Crazy Steve is crazy.
Well,
Steve,
yeah.
And he's just a friggin' maniac who's just like, he just has so many loose screws. But
that's true. I guess not the exact same.
They're not
person,
the exact same.
but it's like the energy is very similar.
Yeah. The energy's there.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, Adventure Time, bro. That's another show.
Never seen it. Yeah.
That I need you to watch Adventure Time. It's so good, bro. And it also, that's another one of those shows that like, I mean, I watched it as a kid. I didn't watch it a lot as a kid. Like, it was one of those things where if it was on, I'd be like, okay, let's watch Adventure Time.
That was like me with Ned's Declassified.
Yeah.
That was never a show that I would go out of my way to watch, but like when it was on, I'm like, yo.
yeah. Dude, but fucking, dude, Adventure Time. There's so many life lessons and deep moments, even as a 20-year-old now, that I go back and watch it now and I'm like, holy shit, dude, this is like way deeper than just like the cartoon that I thought it was when I was, like 12 years old. Like, there's so many deep moments in Adventure Time that like really get you to think. I can't think of anything like off the spot, but Jake the dog. He's like one character who like gives a lot of like I guess like wise words to Finn, and like he's always the one that's like he just has lines that he says, and it's just like, whoa. Like, that, you would not expect that in a cartoon network
You could
show.
say the exact same thing about, like, the Last Airbender TV show.
Yes,
because
dude, I'm glad you thought.
Like, it was so funny and, like, enjoyable, but then there were also so many things with Uncle Iroh. He'd say something, and you'd be like, oh my god, this is, dude, such wise way of thinking of things.
Yeah, dude, the amount of times that I cried... Dude,
the episode where they do the tribute to him or whatever.
Yeah, dude.
And he sings the
Moon
Soldier Boy. And then it opens up the
Dude, that episode specifically got me.
It was a very good episode.
I was like, the first time I watched that was one episode that that was honestly an Avatar. I didn't go out of my way to watch it either when I was a kid.
I found myself doing the same thing, but then at some point I was just like, wait a minute, this is an amazing TV show.
Same, yeah. And then I went back when I was older, and I went back and watched all of them all the way through. And that was one episode that I didn't see as when I was younger. But dude, oh man, I was bawling my fucking eyes out. Dude, even the last episode, man, I wasn't not because it was deep. But just like because of how good it was.
It was enjoyable.
It was so fucking crazy. Just like the battles between
like Zuko and what's her name?
Sister.
The sister.
Zula.
Where they're like shooting fire at each other, and it's like
that was fucking sick.
And like the music behind it was like so like you could tell it was so like emotional.
Yeah.
And it was like
that was so good.
That was very good. The same thing happened to me, or a similar thing happened to me with like the freaking like Disney princess movies. Like, shut up, I know it's Disney princess. Like, whatever. Like, all right,
dude, I never watched Frozen.
Dude, okay,
did you watch Frozen?
So I remember when I was in like high school or middle school or something, I was over at my friend's house and Frozen was playing. And I was like, like, you know, like it was high school, it was middle school. That wasn't cool. Like, you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
So I was just like, you know, like, oh, I'm not enjoying this. But low key, I was like, this is kind of a good movie. And then I finally, like, you know, got out of that whole, oh, it's not cool. And I watched it and I loved it. I loved it. It was so good. And then I watched like all the Disney princess movies. I love Moana. It's like my favorite one. I love it. I like know all the songs and stuff.
Dude, I didn't know you were into that.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson was so great in that movie.
I didn't even know he was in it. I never got into those.
I love it.
I mean, I love Pixar.
Pixar's great too. Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, it's like.
That's
like,
kind of the same thing.
Isn't like Disney owns Pixar, right? Yeah.
Dude, one movie that you got me to watch finally that I never watched when I was a kid. I don't know why, was Up. But
oh my god!
Finally watched
when we were
recently.
talking about things making us really emotional, dude, I cried in the beginning of Up like every single time.
Dude, my dad. I made my dad watch it, and he cried.
Yeah.
Like,
it's so sad.
Oh.
And it's such a good movie.
Yeah. Dude, when I specifically when I watched that movie, I like was just getting over something that like sucked with a female, and
Obviously.
like, dude, that like,
it hurt. It hurts.
Dude.
And it's like the beginning and the end are so sad, but it's like I feel like the end is like a happy sad and the beginning is just a sad, but like I feel like you need both of them to understand. Like you
That's
need
life,
you need the beginning to understand the end and how it's a happy sad.
Yeah.
And that was such a good movie.
It was, dude.
There were
a lot of funny moments in it. Too. Yeah. Like, a lot.
I love when they're in the woods and Russell's like, my knee hurts. And then he's like, I have to go to the bathroom. And then Mr. Fredrickson, he's like, which knee hurts? He's like, my other knee hurts. like he didn't even answer the question. He's such a kid.
Up was a great movie. Dude, freaking... what's it? What am I thinking of? Ice Age. Dude.
Ice Age.
I don't think there were any deep... Were there any deep moments in Ice Age?
Like maybe like in the end, like with the baby. In the beginning with the mom and the baby.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. I feel like those movies though were mainly just like pure comedy.
And what about in the second movie where he was like... Or maybe it was the first movie. It was the first movie where he was looking at the wall. And like they're looking at the paintings and they're like, oh, this one looks like you, Manny. And then the paintings start moving around and they tell the story.
Dude, that was so
sad.
I forgot about that.
That was so sad.
Yeah.
I think I might have cried when I saw that.
Really?
No.
I don't think I did, but maybe now I would. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm a lot different
now that you've been exposed to some crazy shit in life.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
Yeah, that was so sad, dude.
I forgot about that.
Where he's just staring at it. And, like, no one seems to be able to pick it up. And then, like, I feel like Diego picks it up and, like, you know, like, nudges Sid because he's being an idiot. And then, like, the paintings start moving and they tell the story. And it was just, so sad. Slalom, baby.
Yeah. I think Sid was my favorite character.
Dude, that guy was hilarious. He was there for comedic relief. And he didn't really forward the story that much, but he was just so funny.
He was great at it.
He was so funny.
There's a lot of movies that try to force comedic relief in.
I know what you're talking
Star Wars.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about
there. Ice Age did it great. I mean, I think obviously those are way two different movies, you know, obviously. But Sid was. I love Sid. He's the best.
Yeah, and then we got ourselves a Jar Jar situation when it doesn't work that well.
Yeah.
And for some reason, they just never learn. You know.
And then they put him in so many fucking episodes in Clone Wars, man.
Okay, so Jar Jar doesn't work, right? So we'll take him. We'll put him in the second movie for like a little bit. Then we won't give him any lines in the third movie, but then we'll just make straight episodes that have nothing to do with anything, but they're all about Jar Jar in the TV show. And then they ruin the episode. Dude, like how do they not learn?
Dude, what was the one Shadow something when he was like pretended to be a Jedi?
No, it's Gungan Jedi.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, isn't that dumb? I know the name. I remember because I just hated. Or maybe it was Bombad Jedi or something. I don't know. Something like that. This shit was so stupid. He just wore a Jedi cloak and everyone's like, "Oh my god, he's Jedi."
Dude, you know what's awful is I'm such a Star Wars geek that like, while I was watching it, I wasn't enjoying it, but because it was Star Wars, I had to watch it.
Yeah.
So like the first time watching Clone Wars, like I had to just torture myself and just like, you know, go through it anyway.
You watch all the good and the bad.
Yeah. And now though, I'm going back and watching a lot of arcs now.
Yeah, but the good ones you can skip over the bad ones because you saw them. You can check the box.
Those anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last night I told you I stayed up till like 2 watching the Umbara arc,
which is probably my absolute favorite arc. I love it because you get to know the clones so much better, and like you get to see them in action, and like I feel like, you know, the Jedi are such a big part of the whole thing, but it's so cool to see it without a Jedi for once, and it's just like it's just the clones doing their thing. It's so cool.
Yeah, dude. We were talking about it earlier, dude. The scene when I forget his name again.
Is it the friendly fire scene?
The friendly fire.
That's
scene.
Waxer.
Waxer when Rex takes off Waxer's helmet, and
the tear runs
dying.
down his eye.
Yeah, he's about to die, and he says like he tells him that General Krell ordered the attack, and he's literally a tear runs down his cheek, and like I literally last night I was crying. Like that was rough, dude. Cause they're like brothers, like, you know.
They are brothers. Yeah.
It's just,
and it's like the end of the series too, of the Clone Wars series, when the clones turn on the Jedi, and it's just like Rex.
Yeah.
And like they're in that little like control tower thing in the Star Destroyer, or in the cruiser.
Yeah.
And he takes off his helmet there, and he has that one tear go down his eye. Like that was so hard to watch.
Are you talking about in the second to last? Was that the?
I think that was the last episode. And then in the end, when it pans and you see all of the Ahsoka painted helmets, and then you see Jesse's, and you've known Jesse since season 2, and you get to love him more and more and more. I cried at the end. Not just because it was the end, not because it was just the end of the series, but because you've seen these guys, you know these guys, you learn to love them, they have character value, and then they die. Mainly Jesse. And you don't really know a bunch of the other clones, but it's still the idea of the clones, of them painting their helmets to pay tribute to Ahsoka, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you see that all wiped and how they become victimized, and it was just, oh my god, it was terrible. It was terrible. That was rough to watch.
Yeah, I remember when I was like, I don't know how old I was when Revenge of the Sith came out, but
I think I was like 6. I think it was 2004 or 5, so I was like 6 or 7.
All right, so I was probably 4 or 5.
We just dated ourselves.
So, yeah. So I remember I didn't really understand at first. Like, when Order 66 happened, I was so confused. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Like, this is a Star Wars movie. They're supposed to win. Like,
yeah. And obviously I didn't pick up Revenge of the Sith. Like, I didn't pick up on the name, you know, being, you know, pretty much the ending of... I mean, not the ending, kind of, you know. But...
Where the Sith get revenge.
Yeah. So... Yeah, dude, but going back and watching Clone Wars and watching how it all happened is just crazy.
I love how they tied them all together, too. The Clone Wars and the Bad Batch and the movie, and they tie Order 66. You could put it all together in, like, chronological order to see how everything went down, and it's so it fits together so well. It explains why Ahsoka was never mentioned, why she was never there,
right?
And it was so well pieced together.
That's true. Yeah, they did a really good job of just giving everything background.
Yeah,
because there was so much time in between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith that you didn't see. And
that's like that was the juice. Yeah. You know, that was the good stuff.
Yeah.
Another thing that we talked about was like, what was it? Like the plot holes that they tried to fill and stuff. Like when George Lucas went back and like re-edited the movies and added stupid things in, like a rock, because he wanted it. And then his quote was that he wanted to tell the story in a way that he wasn't able to tell the story because he didn't have the technological like power in the 80s. Yeah. And now he does. So he adds a rock in front of R2-D2 to tell a story better. Like, how does that tell the story any better?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think that was one of those things that maybe, hopefully this is one of those things that, like, he was going back, editing things, and he was just like, oh, maybe we should just put a rock. Like, it was a last minute thing,
okay, maybe.
I'm hoping that's what that was.
But see, there's also another good thing that you can do with that, is that if they could go back and edit a movie like that, they can go back and delete the new trilogy. You know, like oh, we should just make the whole story better by getting,
facts.
You know,
that's facts.
That's like a loophole right there.
Yeah.
Unruin what they've ruined. You know?
Yeah, dude. I mean, again, like there were a lot of moments where I almost shit my pants with the new ones because like it did look great, like the cinematics were amazing, obviously because it's Disney and they're not gonna shy away from having great cinematics, but yeah, they did a lot of things wrong.
Well, they put in so much money, so that's why, you know, it came out so well and everything. But like, it's weird. Like they put in all this money, and I'm sure they worked so hard on it and everything. But like, I feel like good storytelling in general is just beginning to die. You know, it's not really there anymore. I feel
there's
like
so much bullshit in it now. You know, like there's so much, like with just obviously like with politics now getting involved in story, like just movies and TV shows because no one wants to be offended.
And that should have nothing to do with it. I just want to watch a good movie, man. Like,
yeah, I'm trying to get away from that, you know?
Well, see, there's things that are able to escape that. Like Game of Thrones was so gory, and they do things like there's a lot of things in Game of Thrones that would be considered like terrible.
Spoiler alert, by the way, like don't mention anything crazy because I didn't finish it.
Oh, you're watching it? I didn't know you were watching that.
I didn't.
All right, well, I was gonna say like
I'm only like I'm not okay. I started watching it, got halfway through, for some reason stopped, and then I started reading the book.
I'm literally rewatching it. Like it's on that TV over there. Like I'm almost done with season 4 for like the
really?
9th time. Like yeah,
dude. I don't know why everyone said, dude, you're gonna hate me for this. Everyone said that season 4 was like the best, right?
Season 4 is very good.
Okay, I stopped watching at season 4.
Yeah,
I got bored for some reason.
Season 4 was very good. I was bored throughout like season 1 and 2. Season 3 was a little boring for me up until like the end. Season 4 was very good. Season 5 it was very good. Season 6 was my favorite.
Really?
Season 6 was my favorite. Season 7 was, I believe it was very good, but some people said it started to decline there, and a lot of people hated season 8.
I heard a lot of bad.
Yeah.
A lot of flack.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I didn't hate season 8. Like but back to what like what we were talking about with Game of Thrones is that like I was just gonna say incest. Like incest would be something that you do not like mess with today, and that's like one of the big plot points in the show.
I think that's because Game of Thrones was first a book, and that shit, you know, with so like I don't know, authors aren't afraid of that, you know, they'll fucking put that shit in a book. Yeah. They're like, go fuck yourself if you get offended.
Don't read my book.
Don't read my book, you know, and a lot of.
And I feel like more scholarly people read books, so like they can get under the radar with the idiots who would have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna read a book, like they're not gonna know about it.
Yeah, so I think that's where it came from, but it's really annoying because I get, you know, I don't know, I wanted, when I was going into Star Wars, like the new ones, obviously, I was like, I don't know, I go to the movies, man, and I watch movies to get away from that shit. Yeah. And then I just see like so much of it in there, and it's just like, come on, man. I don't know.
Just want to watch a movie.
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff that obviously I'm not gonna say what, but fucking a lot of the stuff that they put in there to be politically correct or whatever, it didn't add anything.
Didn't further the plot. Didn't make anything any more enjoyable.
It was wasted time that the creators and directors put just effort into. Like I don't know why they would.
I agree. Yeah. But we do need to wrap this up.
We do.
Yeah.
55. I think that was a good first podcast.
I think that was a solid first one.
Everyone, go follow us on Instagram. This will be... we don't have Instagram set up right now. This is we're recording this before even setting this up, but
this is really just like on a whim, you know. We just kind of sent it, and we're gonna keep sending it. So
yeah. So stay tuned, I guess, for more to come.
Yeah.
We're gonna. This was a lot of Star Wars. The first podcast,
and I feel like that's not the only thing that's going to dominate.
No,
episodes.
It's not.
We're definitely going to talk about a lot of other things. It's just one of the things we like to talk about. We're guys. We talk about Star Wars.
Yeah. So, be ready for other things. I don't know if you're not as into Star Wars. We're going to talk about other shit, but yeah. So, all right, guys. Peace.